Welcome to a new episode of Investing Fool. So it's mid of July, and as I had promised in the last video, this will be the rebalancing video. So there are a couple of changes in the portfolio that we will discuss, and before we do that, a general outlook on the market. So the market seems very sluggish. Some sectors are moving someday, some sectors are the same sectors are not moving the other day. किसी स्टॉक में मूवमेंट आती है, then it sort of fades away. It seems like the market is waiting for some sort of signal before the budget is announced on 23rd, hopefully. So it is looking for some sort of direction. It wants some sort of nudge on which direction to go. Until then, the portfolio is actually performing worse than the market. That trend has gotten highlighted recently again. So one thing that we should keep in mind as momentum investors is that in the very short term, like 1 week, 2 weeks, so your momentum portfolio will tend to outperform and underperform the market or the broader index periodically, right? तो कभी कभी ओवर परफॉर्मेंस आ जाता है, कभी कभी अंडर परफॉर्मेंस आ जाता है. In a few weeks, like I think in the last 3 weeks or something, we surged way above the index. Election volatility के बाद we were we were very close to the index. Then we surged high, like really high, and then that alpha that we had with the portfolio, that kind of is getting reduced slowly now, because we are not performing as well as the index, so we are kind of underperforming. And in due course of time, we'll see whether the budget helps shape the portfolio in a direction in which we like. For example, in some shares that we are invested in, so whether it goes in that direction or whether it takes the opposite direction, we'll see. But this is a very normal phenomenon, in the sense कि कभी कभी your portfolio will be overperforming, कभी कभी it will be underperforming. Okay, so we should always have that in the back of our head. Anyway, let's start with the video. We'll try to keep it short. आज काफ़ी late हो गया है to make this video. Usually I try to publish this by around 7 in the evening. I try to stick to that, but आज काफ़ी delay हो गया है from my end. So let's get started, and I hope to keep it short. So before moving, the familiar disclaimer that none of these are financial recommendations. So please do your own research and consult your own financial advisor before making any investments. All of these are for educational and illustration purposes only. ठीक है. So let's discuss the portfolio and the rebalancing. Right. So as I said, portfolio has not been performing very well compared to the broader market. We'll go to the portfolio sheet also. That also I've updated, and some sector rotation looks to be happening. Some sectors are cooling off a little bit, maybe consolidating, maybe losing a little bit of steam. So power, so capital goods, electrical stocks, right? Power stocks and defense. Some defense plays are maybe consolidating a little bit. Maybe they're waiting for some further clarity from the budget point of view, so that they may go up higher again. But we'll have to see. We'll have to keep tracking as we do. Zomato saw a significant fall today, more than 5%. So yesterday only I had posted this meme about Zomato, right? And today it went completely in the other direction. तो ये होता रहता है, some sort of whenever on a trot. So it was positive on a trot, I think 3 or 4 days, and it had risen quite a bit. And Deepinder Goyal became a billionaire, the founder of Zomato, with this premium valuation that Zomato is commanding. And I think today there were some concerns, some news around Zomato maybe trying to make a waive off the platform fee, or make the convenience fee zero in some circles or within some limited distance. So there is some news regarding that, because of which Zomato could have taken this hit. Investors might think कि profitability से impact होगी and all that. So all these things keep happening. As long as it's in our screener, it's still one of the I think it's in the top 10 in our screener. So it will remain in our portfolio, and it has given us decent returns till now. Let's see how it goes forward. Coming to the rebalancing stocks, so if you are just looking for the stock names, so this is the moment. So two mid caps are exiting from the portfolio in the middle of July. These are Motilal Oswal. We had discussed this beforehand, and Thermax. Both of these are like meet our exit criterion, which is they are beyond the 50th rank in our screener. And Motilal Oswal is वैसे down more than 25% also from its all-time high. The stock was really good today, so it rose by around 5% or something today. Intraday it was up even 6%. Motilal today, but as per 15th we had to rebalance, so we kicked it out of the portfolio, and we will see the gains and all. We will go to the sheet. And in terms of entries, we are getting into two large caps. So these are Oil India Limited and Motherson. Motherson we had discussed before. Oil India Limited, because of it's like a very quick move on the price action. It has come in the higher in the like top within the top 5 ranks of the screener. So that is the first large cap that we are going into. In terms of portfolio composition, so on the right chart you can see that compared to June 24, July 24, the blue rectangle is higher. So the blue rectangle represents large cap. So the large cap exposure, or the large cap weight in our portfolio in terms of the number of stocks out of the total number of stocks, has now gone up to 55%. And the mid cap has reduced to 30%. So we take this at the end of every month. So like whenever we go for the final rebalancing, if at the time like that changes, that will become the new data for August, right? But basically at the end of every month we take the composition, so you can see how the composition of large, mid and small have changed over the years. And given we are in a very conservative universe, which is Nifty 500, we have never got any micro caps here, but if and when they come, you may see some green rectangles as well. Winners and losers we'll discuss on the portfolio. And average holding period, which is so each time we exit a stock, your average holding period, everything changes, right? So let me just go to the exit sheet only. So yeah, so this is the exit sheet, and as you can see here, so July we have added these two new entries, so Motilal Oswal and Thermax. So Motilal we bought on 22nd April, and it stayed with us for 85 days, close to 3 months, did nothing, basically 0% gain, 0% loss. Basically the stock did nothing, and we'll see the chart in the second half of this video. So the stock actually went pretty high, then it came back, and we basically sold it wherever we got in, right? Because our signal told us so, right? So because of that, we are practically lossless, gainless kind of a boring transaction, Motilal. And in terms of Thermax is a loser. Loss of 3%, again nominal, not much to talk about. Basically not much gain, not much loss in both of these stocks. When we combine, so how we allocate capital to the new stocks when we are doing rebalancing is basically you can multiply the number of shares with the selling price. That will give you some value for Motilal. Similarly, you will get some value for Thermax, and then you can average them out. So the average for these two stocks came to be around 99.6k, and this is what we deployed in the new stocks, which is Oil and Motherson. So here we are not accounting for like transaction charges and brokerage charges, so that is not there. Similarly, we are not accounting for dividends as well. Like जैसे बीच में बजाज ऑटो का 80 rupees per share dividend आया था, we do not account for like dividends, net like inflows or outflows in terms of transaction charges. So yeah, that needed to be clarified. The other thing is, so all these parameters, right? The winners percentage, the losers percentage. So winners is basically from the beginning how many of your trades have won or given you money, compared to losers which have lost, right? So winners are 43.2% and losers are 56.8%. So we basically lose money on more than half of all trades that we do in terms of this system. The average holding period is 69.3 days. I think it was hovering around 70 or 71 prior to these two, prior to adding these two, but because I think Thermex has a lower holding period, so the holding period is more like 1.5 months. So because of that, this average also got reduced a little bit. Average gain for winners is 20.3% and average loss is minus 9.7%. These also did not change much because if you see, like the gains and loss of these two, the latest two editions, are not much to speak about, right? So these also were not impacted that much. Let's go back to the sheet. So if you see the capital that we got from selling those two scripts that we have added here, so 99,605 for both oil and Motherson. Now we get divided by the buy price, so we get the number of shares and the current valuation. So the current valuations at the day's end, based on whatever is pulled from Google Finance, it's a little bit up and down. So you can see marginal like gain and loss here, mostly loss here. But yeah, so basically these are the two stocks that we have added. If we see, both of these are large caps, so this is like auto calculated on this sheet from the market cap. Market cap is pulled from Google Finance itself, so all of these are like automated. If you want a copy of this file or anything, then do write to me at investingfool25@gmail.com, and I'll share a copy there as well. If you see, so one of this stock is in oil and gas, the other is in auto and chili. We'll discuss about those. So yeah, so as we saw all these metrics we saw on the sheet. So regarding the outgoing stock, that is Motilal Oswal, right? So it's the second time we are exiting this stock from the portfolio. So we have already exited Motilal Oswal once with a loss. That was a significant loss. I think that was a 10% loss or something. Let me just check. I think it was much more. Oh, amazing! 15% loss. 15% loss. 20,000 loss we had done on the same stock, and because the system recommended, so I think that loss was somewhere here. Somewhere here it was, that loss was there. You can look at the chart, right? It's a horrible, terrible chart. Like I mean, sometimes you just get happy that some stocks probably are getting kicked out of your portfolio. So you look at this, it grew amazingly. We bought somewhere after it has grown. It fell almost to the 100 DMA line. We sold, again it went up like crazy. Then again we got in somewhere around here. We got in somewhere around here, and after we got in, it probably increased quite a bit, and it didn't do much. So we bought it around 3 months ago, right? So somewhere around this only. It went up, we were happy. It came down, we were not happy. It traded sideways, again we were not happy. Again it jumped up, we were happy. Then it again came down, sliding. It almost, we are like selling where we got in. So it is kind of a waste of time for us to be invested in those stocks, but you cannot avoid it. It's a necessary evil. If in the future again the system says that buy Motilal Oswal again, then we would have no choice. We would have to buy the stock again, right? But this is kind of a really like bad chart. If you see, it's hitting the 100 DMA again and again. It's closing to the line, and today it saw again a spurt. I'm not sure if it will grow again from here or whatever, but in general the brokerage companies have been a little bit out of favor from the market for some days. Maybe something to do with the amount of SEBI regulation that is coming into this space. The recent circular that was there on like pricing mechanisms and everything, that may have been responsible to some extent. But again, like Motilal Oswal, Anand Rathi, these are full service like brokers. These are not discount brokers, so I'm not sure to what limit their bottom line or anything would be affected by this. But anyway, that's the general trend. The other finance, wealth management, brokerage company, that is Anand Rathi in our portfolio, that is also not doing very well. Angel One is recently like off the cliff. We used to own Angel One earlier in our portfolio. So in general, the sector is a little bit meh. So And you can see the pattern is so inconsistent. The return is 0%, so 3 months of time waste. So we move on to the next stock. The next stock is Thermax. So Thermax is also outgoing, as we discussed. This chart is fairly, I mean, it is better, I would say, compared to what it was for Motilal Oswal. Not very wild swings, but again, I mean, basically we didn't get anywhere, and it fell out of the rank. So if it would not have fallen out of the rank, then we would still be holding this. We are holding stocks with much more losses than 3%. So here the return is minus 3%, and last 1 month has seen a lot of volatility. So you can see like this is a huge green spike, and then there are huge red candles following that. So we have like this stock basically came and went away in like 1.5 months. Couldn't do much with it. It was recently in the news because one of its subsidiaries won a 500 crore order from Jindal Energy Botswana in Africa for the supply of boilers. So this company basically supplies boilers, right? Industrial company. So that is the core competency for the company. So it got that order, but I'm not sure why the price is tanking. So I feel it might break out again, but the fall, if you see in the last few sessions, it's kind of significant. It's not just a sideways consolidation or anything. It's significantly falling. So let's see where it goes, but it's still above the 100 DMA, above the 200 DMA. So all should be good in the long term, is what I would say. But let's see how the stock price behaves. Okay, now coming to the incoming stock. So Oil India Limited is the second largest company in India in the oil and gas sector, and it is Asia's largest refinery. And the stock price has moved quite a bit in the last few days, probably led by this news that this stock, along with some other stocks, may get included in the MSCI index in August. I think the result would be out on August 13. Not the result, as in the news will be out on August 13th, so we can probably look forward to that, on which stocks are getting included in that. But the market always like discounts everything in advance, and then if nothing happens, then everything fizzles out, right? So it's kind of scary also to go and invest here, because usually when a stock makes a high and there is a little bit of trace back, that gives you some sort of psychological comfort that okay, it's still in the top ranks in momentum, but it's not like it has gained gained the most in the last 1 or 2 sessions, right? So if you look at All India, it fell by I think 3% or 4% today. But if you look at the rise of Oil India in the last 3 sessions, it has gained like crazy, like I think more than 25%, 20% or something. Right, so if you look at the returns, 1 month return is 34%, 6 month return is 138%, and 1 year return is 263%, and RSI is 88. This is very critical. So it is in the extreme overbought zone. 88 का RSI बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, right? So let's see whether this stock. So we do not have any RSI based filters while entering stocks. So let's see if this can still stay in this level, or it could fall. So we will have to just wait and watch. One other thing is that so the market cap is 1 lakh crore. We already saw that on the sheet, and the profits have tripled in the last 4 years. And as per Morgan Stanley, so Morgan Stanley has given a new target. Again, like as brokerages, I always say targets run after the price, right? Price नीचे जाता है तो टारगेट भी नीचे आ जाता है, प्राइस जो ऊपर जाता है तो टारगेट और ऊपर चला जाता है, राइट? तो 2 महीने पहले आई थिंक मॉर्गन स्टैनली ने टारगेट दिया था अराउंड 494 or something. Then the stock crossed whatever 500, 550, whatever. So they came up with 600 something. Now the stock has like crossed 600. So I think the new target they've given is like 694. So basically they brokerages, the price targets that they set is just trending on price action. That is what I feel, honestly. But what they also said in that report is that earnings are expected to double in the next 4 years. Doubling in 4 years is not a very good growth rate, but this is a 1 lakh crore company. It's a large cap company, so I think that's as much as you can expect. The next stock that is coming is Motherson. And Motherson, most of you would be aware, it's the largest auto ancillary company in India. It makes the like interiors. I think it also works on the wiring of these cars. So if you have a car, it deals with almost all the OEMs in India. So if you have a car, it's like very much likely that the interiors of those cars, the subsystems would be manufactured by Motherson. The market cap is more than Oil India Limited, 1.3 lakh crore. And if we see, so this point is not relevant, ignore the third point. The 1 month return is 12%, 6 month return is 84%, 1 year return is 110%, and the RSI is 67. So 67 still gives you some level of comfort. It is fine. And if you see, look at this chart here. So compare and contrast this chart with the previous one, right? So it has consolidated here, then it went up. It was going up gradually, and then it spiked like crazy in the last 3 sessions, and you have to buy it today, right? So after those kind of gains have come in the last 3 sessions, you are kind of a little bit shaky on whether like there could be, because in the short term and in the long term, mean reversion works, right? Mean reversion works in the very short term also, and mean reversion works in the very long term also. So momentum works within these two periods, right? So like in very long term periods also, some sector that has not performed is likely to perform, and some sector that has performed a lot is not likely to perform, right? You must have seen names, private banks, right? HDFC and all these names, when they were running like crazy, right? But then the times changed, winter came, and for winter for them came, and sunrise for some other stocks, right? So in that sense, like mean reversion happens in the long term, as well as mean reversion happens in the very short term, like 1 week, 2 week, whatever. So when the stock rises too much, there is a tendency, there is a chance, there is a likelihood for the stocks to fall back in the immediate term, but then in the medium term it dissipates, matlab wahan pe, and that's why in that medium term, so after like 1 month of massive changes and before 1 year of massive changes, that is the kind of sweet spot where momentum plays in, right? So anyway, so compare this chart with this Motherson. So Motherson has also gained like crazy consecutive. I think there are like 10 or some candles, consecutive green candles. It was making new highs every day, and then it there is a minor traceback from here. So it is consolidating. It might consolidate for some other time. Auto sector generally, I think, is doing fairly okay, although like it was very shiny a few weeks ago. Abhi thoda sa thanda pad gaya, but I think Bajaj Auto was trending today. We can look at the sectoral indices also today. We haven't taken a look at them. So auto was in positive today, but not much. 1 week it's in actually not very good. What was working today was realty. So yeah, so all the stocks, even in our portfolio, you would see, so there is one real estate now. So Shobha, it is up 3.85%. And if you see, so this is what I was talking about in the video at the beginning, that our portfolio, of course, is not performing as well as the market, but certain sectors are also changing. So if you see like HAL minus 3.3%, right? Cochin Shipyard not moving much. GRSE was positive, but you see BDL and BEL both are in negative. So defense stocks and then power stocks also, like Siemens minus 2.3%, Power India not much movement, Cummins also in negative, right? So power, defense, both sectors, I feel they are somehow falling a little bit out of favor, or they may just be waiting for some concrete signals to emerge during the budget, and that's when they will run. Anyway, so the RSI for this stock is 67, as we discussed. So visually it gives a little bit of more comfort, but for all purposes, it won't make a difference. It won't make a difference in the long term. Charts we can analyze just for our fun, but we have to stick to whatever the system says, whatever the system recommends. We just have to if you can, the best thing that you can do to your portfolio is completely automate it, so that even the buy and sell is done automatically, so that you do not have any control. You are just a mute observer. So so if you like the video, please press the like button, and please comment below if you have these stocks on your portfolio, or which new stocks have you come across, whether it be small cap, micro cap, mid cap, whatever. Please comment. We'll have some more engagement in the community as well. And if you're a new subscriber and if you haven't subscribed to this channel, then please consider subscribing to this channel. and I'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.